What's good, YouTube? It's Pokemaster88 bringing you more Draft League content. We got the MDL Draft League Season 7 Draft Analysis. We are coaching your California Trailblazers, and I am very excited for this league. There's a ton of new coaches that I have never even played. So I'm very excited, and you guys should be too. But with that being said, let's hop into the draft order and see how we did. Taking a look at the draft order, we got the number 2 spot. We did very well for ourselves. I think despite being number 2, let me tell you, we got sniped many times, but you already know that is the nature of Draft League. But despite all that, we have 16 brand new coaches. 14 out of these 16 coaches I never played in any league before. The only 2 coaches I've played in previous leagues are like Brandon and Zach Manor. Everybody else on this list brand new to me. But with that being said, I'm gonna link everybody's channel in the description. Please go and subscribe and follow these great coaches, amazing people. And with that being said, we are moving on to our first Pokemon, and we have none other than our boy Weavile. Weavile was our number 1 pick. We have a fantastic speed tier in Weavile. We have 125 base speed. We have 120 attack. This mon is extremely capable of wall breaking and sweeping. We can even start picking off weekend Pokemon with our Ice Shard. We are 2 decent, okay abilities. We have Pressure and Pickpocket. Not the greatest, but you know, we are still a Weavile at the end of the day. I've never used this Pokemon in Draft League, so I'm very excited to have it on our team. So Weavile, welcome aboard, and we are moving on to our next Pokemon. Here we are. We got our second round pick, our first Terra Captain, Armarouge. I've been wanting to use this thing for a very long time in Draft League. Here we are. We got a superior wall breaker, comes fully loaded with 125 special attack. Flash Fire, very great ability, grants us full immunity to all fire type attacks. Weak armor, also very cool, grants us the ability to kind of become a sweeper depending on the set of Armarouge I'm running for the week. But overall, a very solid Pokemon. 100 defense, 85 HP, 75 speed. Not the greatest on the speed, but honestly not the worst. Still very usable. This Pokemon can get out of control. Now, one thing to note, this is Open Terra. However, we do have to let our opponents know the Terra type we have before the match starts, so sometime around like team preview we should be able to exchange Terra information. But other than that, Armarouge, welcome to the California Trailblazers. We are more than happy to have you, and with that being said, we are moving on. Here we have our third round pick. We got Tentacruel, a water poison type, Liquid Ooze and Rain Dish, very solid abilities. I know round 3 Tentacruel is extremely crazy, but I'm one of those people that if you're getting a rapid spinner, get it early. So that's exactly what we did. So it's much more than a rapid spinner. It gives us hazards and pivot. Very cool Pokemon. 100 speed for a special wall is very cool. 100 attack, 70 attack, 80 special attack, not very bad. Pretty good overall. But Tentacruel, you're gonna be providing us a lot more than just spinning and hazards. You have a lot of cool tech in your move pool, and I just cannot wait to showcase your abilities on this team this season. So with that being said, we are moving on, which is our Fairy and Steel type Klefki. This thing literally has the best typing in game, being Fairy and Steel. Now originally I was gonna pick up Tinkaton, but Zach Mander made sure to snipe Tinkaton off of me because he loves Tinkaton just as much as I do. So here we are with Klefki, and even though she was not planned, I am very happy to have this Pokemon. You already know we get dual screens, we get some other hidden tech, an underrated sweeper. I've seen Calm Mind, Store Power sets, Draining Kits kind of go crazy. Other than screens, this Pokemon does provide spikes for the squad, which is very important. So welcome to the team, Klefki. I'm very happy to have you, and we are going to see if we can get you into playoffs. Maybe a Trailblazers first time championship. So with that being said, very happy to have Klefki. Overall pretty bulky. You know, we got not the highest HP, but I think defense, special attack, special defense is all usable, you know. So overall, great Pokemon. Welcome aboard, Clef, and we are moving on to our next Pokemon, which is our boy Raikou. This is our 5th round pick. Raikou is a special wall breaker, very similar to Arm Rouge, not quite the 125 special attack, but 115 is very solid. 100 special defense, very nice. 115 speed. This is actually one of my fastest Pokemon on the team. The primary reason I drafted it was to take advantage of its speed and special attack. This thing has great support options with like Light Screen and Reflect. I think we're pretty bulky overall, like HP, defense, special defense, we're pretty bulky, so we can usually shrug off a hit, maybe even 2. And yeah, man, I don't think pressure is the greatest ability, but it's still a Raikou at the end of the day, and he's worth every last penny. So Raikou, I managed to have you once before, and here we are, second time drafting you, and yeah, man, I'm pleased to have you back as a Trailblazer. So Raikou, welcome aboard, and we are moving on to our next Pokemon. And we have Kommo-o. Now this thing is pretty interesting. Me and this thing have a pretty crazy relationship. I've drafted this thing 2 other times. This is the 3rd time I draft Kommo-o. I've never made playoffs using this thing, so hopefully we can change that here this season. This thing is pretty cool though. It could be special or physical. Very versatile. It's even got some pretty cool defensive sets. Originally, Chestnut was my fighting type and grass type, but Chestnut was sniped. So here we are with Kommo-o. But Kommo-o got amazing abilities with bulletproof, soundproof, and overcoat. And looking at our stats, we got 110 attack, 100 special attack, 125 defense, 105 special defense, 85 speed is very useful. Like this thing is amazing. Very strong Pokemon. The only thing I can really say negative, it's kind of telegraphed depending on what sets it wants to run. Like it has a very popular set, which is like Clangor Soul, and those type of sets are very easy to read. So opposing Mirror Herbs, we gotta kind of keep that in mind. But other than that, Kommo-o is an amazing Pokemon, and I'm glad to have you for the 3rd time. And with that being said, we are moving on to our next Pokemon. Here we have our 2nd poison type, our ghost type, our boy Gengar. This is our 7th round pick. This is another special wire breaker. We all know Gengar is a glass cannon. It doesn't eat very many hits, but it can dish out stab sludge waves and shadow balls coming off a base 130 special attack. We are 110 speed, very respectable. We are rocking the Cursed Body ability. I've had this mon one other time in another league, and like I said, we did not make playoffs because I had it with Kommo, but here we are, bringing Gengar back for the second time, and hopefully we can advance to the playoffs and maybe even a Trailblazers eventual championship. So yeah, man, I'm very happy to have Gengar. I was thinking about Oricorio for a little bit, but then I realized, even having Tentacruel as a poison type, Gengar is just too dang good to pass up. So I said, what the heck? Let's just blow the money on Gengar. So no Oricorio, but I'm very happy to have this Pokemon back in the Trailblazers organization. So with that being said, we are moving on to our second Terra Captain, our 8th pick, Torterra. This Pokemon is a premier Shell Smash Sweeper. This thing can be a physical wall if it wants to be. Like, it can run like Stealth Rocks and other things that can go alongside a physical Torterra or a defensive Torterra. I don't want to spoil too much of this Pokemon's tech, but we got Overgrow and Shell Armor. They're okay abilities. This is still a Torterra, like I said, and we are 95 HP, pretty good. Attack over 100, very nice at 109. Defense is 105, not as bulky as Chestnut, but still a ground type and a grass type, which our team desperately needed. Spadef isn't the worst at 85, so we can shrug off a hit depending on who it is. And 56 speed, not the best, but not the worst. So if we're gonna be pulling off Shell Smash trees, we're gonna be probably running a lot of speed on this, more than likely. But we will see what the competition provides for us. But yeah, man, that is Torterra. Yeah, glad to have you aboard. We are moving on to our 9th pick. We have Braviary. This is our ground immunity physical wall breaker. We have 123 attack, 80 speed, pretty good. Defense is 75, not the worst, not the greatest. 100 HP is very solid. We have sheer force and defiance, so us having Klefki and Torterra to provide hazards, defiant Braviary can pop off in the right circumstances. Also, this thing is a really good defogger, because he does get defog. So wall breaking capabilities, being a defogger, provides our team with U-turn. Very cool mon. This is the first time I've ever drafted this thing, but I am very excited to have Braviary on the team. And yeah, man, with that being said, we are moving on to our next Pokemon, which is our next Pokemon. We got Leavanny, our 10th pick. This thing provides us a well-needed ground resist. Ground is pretty spammable against my team because I have 1 immunity, 1 resist. Now we got a 2nd resist with Leavanny. The cool thing about this, it's a 4 times resist, so ground types, I dare you to try it. Swarm, Chlorophyll, Overcoat, pretty solid abilities. Swarm is probably the most consistent ability, especially for my team. But this is Draft League, so anything is possible. But overall, not bad. 103 attack, very respectful. 80 defense, very nice. 92 speed isn't the slowest, pretty quick. So overall, not a bad Pokemon. And I'm very glad to have this Pokemon once again, because I did have this mon previously in my last Draft League. Too bad I didn't get to bring it. But yeah, here we are. We got Leavanny, and yeah, welcome back to the Trailblazers for a second time. We are moving on to our next Pokemon, which... So for my 11th pick, we got our second fairy type, Dash Bun. Very cool ability, well big body, grants us full immunity to all fire type attacks. Aroma Veil is very niche as well. Stops like Taunt, Encore, and Disable. So it really could come into play this season depending on what we're facing for the week. But outside of like Wish, we get cool utility options like Roar, uh, some other cool tech that I probably won't go into detail, but Dash Brown overall is very solid, presenting 115 defense, 80 attack, very very solid, and 80 special defense is not bad, and then 95 speed for a wall is pretty good. So overall, I think we did a really good job this season with the team we got. But Dashbun, welcome aboard. I've never used this thing in Draft League, so I'm very very happy to have you this season on the Trailblazers. But yeah, let's move on and check out the whole squad in its entirety. So, like I said, I think we did an amazing job with the team. We had so many snipes, right? We lost Chestnut, we lost Haxorus, we lost Tinkerton, but overall, I think what we ended up getting, we did a phenomenal job. You know, I think this is one of my best teams. It's very, very well-rounded. I think the speed tiers are on point. We got a lot of different utilities, hazards, pivot. Like, this team is very, very, very good. But you guys let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think of the team. If I had to rate the team, I'd give this team an easy A+, maybe a little bit higher. But hey, that's my team. You guys let me know what you guys think. But with that being said, Pokemaster is out.